All right, this is the video on long dividing multiples of 10. In this video, we're going to be dividing numbers that are in the thousands by two-digit numbers with and without remainders. So think numbers that look like that, right? 4,328 divided by 30. So we will use that as our first problem, but I want you to set up your notebook like this. So take out your notebook, pause the video if you need to, take out the notebook, label this at the top, put the date on it. Then you can unpause the video when you're ready to continue. Now that you're set up, let's go through these problems together. So I would like you to write this problem down and do this with me in your notebook. So that should be written on your paper. If anytime you think I'm going too fast for you, just pause the video and I'll slow down. Remember, the best thing about these videos is the fact that you can come in and you can pause or you can resume whenever you need to. So it's nice and easy like that. That's nice and easy. We're going to zoom in real fast for you right here. All right, so we should have that written down on our board right now. And that's going to allow us to solve this problem. Unlike what we've been doing the last couple days, we are going to do something very similar. Actually, it might even go bigger. Hold on. Can I go too big? No, I don't think so. This is going to be nice. All right, look. So basically what we're going to do here is we are going to solve this problem. We're going to ask ourselves first, can 30 go into 40? It cannot. Can it go into 43? Well, yes, it can. So that is what we're going to do first right here. We'll take this and we will, let's do green, why not? So 30 goes into 43 one time. And I know that because 1 times 30 is 30, and I can subtract. So as we do this division, you will notice the same pattern no matter how many numbers you deal with. 1 times 30 is 30. Let's check this. I have 13 left over. Is 13 less than 30? Yes, it is, which means I'm ready to move on. My next step, bring down my 2. Maybe I'll let me do it a different color here. 2. So now I have to ask myself, well, how many times does 30 go into 132? What can I multiply 30 by to get 132? Oh, I know 4 times 30 is going to give me 120. And I'll subtract. And I'll ask myself the same question as before. Is 12 less than 30? Is 12 less than 30? It's like a French. Less than 30. Let me fix that. Can I fix that? Is 12 less than 30? It is. Good. So I'm on the right track. So the next step now would be to bring down the 2, which I will do. The 8, right? I'll bring down this 8. And I have to ask myself the same question. How many times does 30 go into 128? Let me show you what happens if I do the wrong thing real fast. Let's say I put a 2 here and I make this into a 60. And I'll have a remainder here of 68. Now what the problem is this 68 is bigger than that 30. And because of that, I know I did the wrong thing. So I have to go back. It's nice when you're on a computer, you can do this, by the way. And I have to say, all right, 2 was not enough. The right answer to this will be 3. 3 times 30 is 90. 8 and 12 minus this is... Wait a minute. What do I notice here? 38 is bigger than 30. This can't be the right answer either. So therefore, I have to go back one more time. I'll put this as a 4. 4 times 30 is 120. I have 8 as a remainder. Is 8 less than 30? It is. And therefore, that is my final answer to this problem. think I'll zoom out, actually. You can see it a little bit better, too. And that should be what your notebook looks like on your end. Go ahead and set up this guy, number 2, on the right-hand side of your paper, too. Now, I'm still going to go through this with you, but stay with me. If I'm going too fast, pause the video. No big deal, all right? Let me zoom in again. I thought that helped last time. Okay. All right, so again, I'm going to go through this. I'll go a little quicker this time, too. So first thought, just like last time, is does 40 go into 2? No. Does it go into 29? Actually, still no. So I cannot go into either of those numbers. Sometimes I put a little X above this to make sure I know that. So really, I can't times anything by 40 and get 29. So I have to go all the way to 298 in order to get that. So what times 40 is going to give me close to 298? Well, I know by looking at my first two numbers, it's probably going to be 7. 7 times 40 is 280. I can subtract that, 8 and 18. I asked myself the same question as I did last time. Is this 18 lower than that? If it is, we're doing the right thing. Good job. Check, check. I like this little disappearing thing. Next, we'll bring down our 7, and we have the number 187. How many times does 40 go into that? I'll put a 4 there because by looking at my first 2 digits, I do look at my first 2 digits a lot. I know 4 times 4 is 16, so therefore 4 times 40 is going to be 160. Subtract this, I get 7. I get 2. Is that less than 40? It is, so therefore my remainder, let me zoom out again. My remainder for this problem will be 74 remainder 27. The next thing I'm going to do is ask you to do 2 problems on your own, and you are going to pause the video while you do that, and then check your work afterwards. All right, what I'd like you to do, like I said, write those numbers down for problems number 3 and 4. Then I want you to pause the video. Then I want you to solve them. When you're done, resume the video and you'll listen to me solve them. Go ahead and pause and solve now. All right, I'm going to zoom in again. I feel like that's been working nicely for us. Whoa, too big, too zoomy. All right, you should have answers at this point. You're not doing this with me. You should have already done this. So let's see. 50 goes into 51. It does one time. 1 times 50 is 50. Subtract, and I have the number. Oh, sorry. I should do it this way. I have 1. Is 1 less than 50? Of course it is. Now I bring down the 6. All right. This, I would agree, is the tricky part. So if you got this right, congratulations right away. Can 50 go into 160? No, it can't. And I bet you knew that. Some of you might have had a pause and you weren't sure, which is okay. All right. You might have accidentally brought down the 3. You should not have done that. You need to put a 0 right up here because it can't go in any time. 0. Make that a little more pretty. 16 minus 0 is 16. Now you bring down the 3. You can't bring down 2 numbers at once. So now that we have this, we have how many times does 50 go into 163? We know that that answer would be 3. 3 times 50 is 150. And we'll have our remainder, 13. Good job. Is 13 less than 50? It is. If you did not get that right, I hope you understand the reason why. If you don't understand the reason why, make sure you write that down as like a little note to yourself, a question you're going to want to ask me later on, or go back and watch us do the video in the first place and see why that makes sense. Also, if you didn't get that right, double check your work on the next one to see if how you did over there. Let's scroll over here right now. All right, what's that 20? There it is. Perfect. Okay, same thing. We're going to talk to ourselves. 6 going to 3, no. 37, no, it does not. But, so that means we're going to be talking about 373. We're talking about the number 373. So, I know that 6 times 5 is going to give me 330, right? I know 6 times, here's my thinking on here. 6 times 5 is 30. I know 6 times 6 is 36. So 6 times 60 equals 360. That's my thinking as I solve this problem. So it is going to have to be a 6. And make sure you notice where I write my 6. So 360. Good. Is 13 less than? Is 13 less than 60? It is. Check, 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 check. Next step is to bring down our 8. Brought it down. 6 times 2, 60 times 2 is 120. We'll do this. And we have a remainder of 18. Looks splendid. I hope you guys, I want to erase that. Hope you guys did really well. If you did not do really well, I would suggest going back, watch the video. If you're still not sure, this is the point where you're gonna want to ask your teacher for help with this and assistance before you do the next step. Okay. Let me zoom out. All right, your notebook should look like this with the correct answers on there at this point. Congratulations on going through this lesson. Final step before you can do the rest of your work today is your teacher should have 3 problems for you to solve. Do so now and turn them into the bin. Good luck with your task today. Wonderful job, everybody.